A moment ago, you were talking about how you went and reflected back, and you were so grateful that you're able to support your family because there were many years where you felt like you were pouring on the hours. Imagine, particularly in the window cleaning business,
Yep.
where they weren't getting the kind of results you felt like they were worthy of getting.
100%.
And I think that's something that a lot of people don't really talk about, because I know I went through that. Something I've shared before was like, being a realtor from 2007 to 2011. I mean, there were years where the D word was thrown around, right? I mean, it's a lot of stress. Being an entrepreneur, the pressure of being an entrepreneur to supporting a family, but also the person that's married to that entrepreneur has to go through that roller coaster too. And they may not have necessarily enrolled in it. They're just being supportive.
Yep.
So anything you want to share, some insights for people to just be prepared. Like, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying just things to be prepared for someone that is thinking about getting the wholesaling with a wife, with kids.
Yeah. I think that whatever entrepreneurial journey you take, it's never going to be as easy as you want it to be. It's going to suck, right? It's really hard. And I'm not going to give marital advice, but I will give a shout out to my wife.
Yeah.
I remember the day that our son was born. It was the most beautiful moment of my life. And I remember thinking, how am I going to pay these medical bills? And still, she let me invest into coaching. I paid 10 grand for my first coach. It was a complete bust, mostly on credit cards. I remember when we were first married, we fought over a $20 DVD player that she purchased because we were that broke. And I wanted to spend 10 grand on a coaching program.
Yeah.
I told her I was going to drop out of college to become an entrepreneur. She said, okay, I believe in you. I think that if you are the spouse listening to this that has hesitations and your significant other wants to go for it, the best thing that you can do for that person is say, I believe in you. Because now they not only have the pressure to be successful, but they now have the pressure to prove you right. That's way more powerful than saying, no, I don't believe that's possible. It's a scam, or I don't believe in you, right? That's just going to crush the spirit of who that person is that you're married to. If you are the person that's wanting to ask permission to go for it, to invest into marketing, to invest into a coach, right? The best thing that you can do is explain what you're trying to accomplish, show the potential results, show the success stories, and say, that's what I would like to give you, right? I understand that if you're anything like me, the reason you wanted to be successful was because you wanted to give. You wanted to give to your children. You wanted to give to your spouse, right? You wanted to give a better life than you're currently giving. And I think that if that is expressed, it's a lot easier to find support from your significant other. But I will say my wife's pretty freaking amazing.
Yes, definitely. Right.
Yeah,
And I get that there were struggles, but I would not be here without the support of my wife. And I think the other thing too is I had a chance, right, to go to an event many, many years ago, and I watched all the people that were on the main stage. And one thing I noticed is they all brought their wives, right? And they were all married still to their first wife. It's for one guy who was on his second wife, was only because his first wife had passed away. And there was, for me, the lesson there was that you have to have a wife. It has to be on the same team. And basically, if you've got a non-supportive spouse, it's going to be really hard to fight the war in the office for the business, and then fight a war when you get home with your family.
Yeah.
You can't fight a two-front war.
Yeah. It's, it's funny. Pace Morby, I'm sure you've had him on the show a gazillion
handful of times, yeah.
Yeah, everyone loves Pace. So Pace down here in Phoenix. And I got an opportunity to go on a kind of an excursion in Florida with Tom and Pace and Cody. And Pace actually suggested a book on marriage to me. I was expressing some struggles and some things that kind of along these lines of how do we keep our spouses happy when we're trying to change the world and be a coach and create all this content. Because I don't know anybody that puts out more than Pace. Pace is a nut, right? Like
he's insane.
He's a nutcase.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked him that. And so he gave me a book. It's called How to Improve Your Marriage Without Talking About It. And so that was actually a life-changing book. And it was actually an amazing book, not just for my relationship, but the way I communicate, especially with women. It was good for me. It was good for me, not only just for communicating with my spouse, but also how to communicate with women in the workplace and how to communicate with my women students.
Mm-hmm.
And we process information a little bit differently, but we all want the same things.
Right.
And so it was a really, really good book.
Yeah, it's a very eye-opening book. I remember reading it many, many years ago.